Here we are in section 3.1 exercises part C with the solutions to numbers 24 through 35. Here it says to solve. Now the issue with all of these problems is that you'll notice the x's or the n's or the p's, the variables are on both sides of the equation. As was talked about earlier, you can get rid of one side to pull it to the other, and it doesn't matter which side you get rid of. So if we're going through these and you could pull it to the other side and you choose to, you should end up with the same right answer. Let's start. Number 24. 5p plus 12 equals 33 minus p. I won't need to get these two together, so I'm going to take this guy right here and get rid of him by doing add p. As long as I do it to both sides, it's good. So I have 6p plus 12 equals 33. So now they're together, I can do my unpeeling like I normally do. I can subtract 12 from both sides, which gives me 6p equals 33 minus 12 is 21. Then I divide both sides by 6, divide both sides by 6, and I'm left with p equals 21/6. Now does that reduce? I think it does. You can divide by 3 and divide by 3. So you get 7.2, or if you put it in a calculator, you would get 3.5. So 7/2 or 3.5 would work. Let's double check our answer. P equals 7/2 or 3.5. Number 25. 7n plus 18 equals 5n minus 2. Let's distribute to get rid of those pesky parentheses. They're not as simplified as it should be. 7n plus 18 equals 5n minus 10. Now we could get rid of either the 5n or the 7n. I'll choose to get rid of the positive 5n by subtracting 5n. Do it from both sides. If I do that, I now have 2n plus 18 on this left-hand side equals a negative 10. From there, now I can do it. It's kind of simplified. So subtract 18, and we get 2n equals negative 28. Let's write that up here so we have a little bit more room. 2n equals a negative 28. Divide both sides by 2, and we get that n equals a negative 14. Let's double check that answer. N equals a negative 14. Number 26. Here we have 5x minus 10 equals 5x plus 7. Oh, that's kind of weird that we have about 5x on both sides. Let's get rid of this one right here by subtracting 5x from both sides. As we wished, that guy goes away, and we now have 5x minus 5x is 0. That one goes away as well, so we have negative 10 equals 7. Now we are not to interpret this that this means that negative 10 actually equals 7. That never ever happens. No way. That's bad. Which tells us that this equation will never have a solution that causes it to be equal. So we call that no solution. There is no x that will solve that. Let's double check that that's indeed what the answers have, and that's correct. Number 27, we have x's on two sides of the equal sign. Let's get rid of this one. Subtract x and subtract x, and we get negative 7 equals 15x minus x is 14x. We got to get x by itself, so divide by 14, divide by 14, and we get x equals negative 7/14. That simplifies to negative 1/2. Good. Number 28. Number 28, here we have 2x minus 4 parentheses x minus 3 equals negative 2x plus 12. Yeah, we've got to simplify that and get those parentheses out of there. So we have 2x minus 4x plus a 12. Pay attention that you have a negative 4 times a negative 3. That's a positive 12 equals negative 2x plus a 12. Okay, so 2x minus 4x is a negative 2x. Plus a 12 equals negative 2x plus 12. Okay, so we combined as much as we could here. Now let's get those together. Which one do we want to get? Let's get rid of this guy by adding 2x to both sides. So this goes away. That's great. Well, it did it on the other side too. So we have 12 equals 12. Well, that doesn't seem like it gives us a lot of information, but this is always true. Whereas this one up here was never true. If this is always true, then this equation is always true, and x can be anything it wants, 7, 15, 19. And so we write that the solutions, x can be all numbers. Some people write all real numbers. Let's double check the answer here. Yep, all real numbers. So all the numbers that are real, they go right in there because 12 always equals 12. This is called an identity, and so all real numbers. Number 29. Let's try this one. Ooh, 0.07x equals 13 minus 0.12x. Well, we've got to get the x's together, so we choose one to get rid of. Let's get rid of this one right here. So if we add 0.12x to both sides, this is going to be 0.19x equals 13. Good. Can we solve this? Yes. Now that the x's are together, we just divide by 0.19 on both sides, 0.19, and we get x equals, I'm going to need my calculator for this one. We're going to have 13 divided by 0.19. That equals 68.421. So 68.42. Let's check that answer. 68.42, and it keeps going. You can round where you feel appropriate. Number 30. We have 0.7 times 3x minus 2 equals 3.5x plus 1. Let's get these pesky parentheses out of the way. 0.7 times 3, that's going to be 2.1x minus 1.4 equals 3.5x plus 1. Let's get the x's together. We've got to do that. So let's get rid of this guy right here by minusing 3.5x minus 3.5x. Now, if you would have chosen to, you could have gotten rid of that 2.1x and pulled it over to the other side. You should get the same exact answer. So we get negative 1.4x minus 1.4 equals 1. Hey, this is an equation we can solve. The x is now together in one group so that we can just peel off what we need to. So add 1.4 to both sides plus 1.4 to both sides. That leaves us with negative 1.4x equals 2.4. We divide by negative 1.4, divide by negative 1.4, and let's write it up here what we get. We get x equals 2.4 divided by negative 1.4. Now we can, that looks ugly, decimals in fractions, and ooh, yuck. So we can either simplify it as a fraction, times the top by 10 and the bottom by 10, and we get 24 over negative 14, reduces down to 12 over negative 7. So negative 12 sevenths is one way to write the answer, or we could write it with our calculator. We could say 2.4 divided by 1.4 negative equals, and it gives us negative 1.71. Let's double check those answers. We get negative 12 sevenths or negative 1.71. Good. Number 31. 0.3x minus 9 plus 2x equals 4x minus 3. These two go together, they combine just on this side, so we have 2.3x minus 9 equals 4x minus 3. Okay, so we got to get rid of one of them. Let's go ahead and subtract the 2.3x from both sides. And we get negative 9 equals 1.7x minus 3. Now we have a normal equation where we just peel off. So add 3 to both sides. We get 1.7x on the right-hand side equals negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. Divide both sides by 1.7, divide both sides by 1.7, and we get x equals, I don't know what negative 6 divided by 1.7 is, so let's pull out our calculator. 6 negative divided by 1.7 equals negative 3.529. So negative 3.53, negative 3.53. Good. Let's see what the answers have and if we match. And we did. That's great. Number 32. 0.4y equals 78 plus 0.4y. We got to get the y's together. Well, the numbers are over here on the right-hand side, so let's pull this one over, negative 0.4y, over to the left-hand side, negative 0.4y. And we get 78 on the right-hand side equals, those guys went away, and these guys, oh boy, 0 equals 78. That should bother you. That's right, this never happens, which means this equation will never have a solution. So we write no solution. Let's check that answer. No solution indeed. Number 33. We have these parentheses to deal with, so let's simplify by multiplying those through, and we get 7x minus 35 minus 3x equals 4x minus 35. Okay, these x's are on the same side, so they can just combine like normal. 7x minus 3x, that's 4x minus 35 equals, on the right-hand side, we have 4x minus 35. So we've got to get the x's together. And so we subtract one of the 4x's. And we get negative 35. Oh, they do. They both sides, they cancel out. So we get negative 35 equals negative 35. How often does that happen? That's always true. That's always true. So this is x equals all numbers, or all real numbers. Let's double check that with the answers. Oh yes, number 33, all numbers. Number 34, we've got some parentheses we've got to get rid of here. So let's take that negative 4 and jump it in. We have 9x minus 4x plus a 12 equals 15x. Good. 9x minus 4x, that's 5x plus 12 equals 15x. Now, we could pull this 15x over here, but if you can see, we've only got numbers on the left-hand side, so let's get rid of this 5x off to the right-hand side. So the 5x off of the left-hand side and put it over on the right-hand side, so we get 12 equals 10x. Divide both sides by 10, and we get x equals 12 tenths, or 6/5. I think that will simplify down to, let's check our answer, 6/5. Or you could stick it in a calculator and get 1.2. And finally, we have 2x minus 3x plus 7x equals 9x plus 8x. 2x minus 3x plus 7x is 6x equals 9x plus 8x is 17x. Oh boy, you might be tempted to divide by 6 or divide by 17, but the x's are not together yet. We've got to put them together. So we've got to get rid of one of them. So let's take and get rid of the 6x here. So we get 0 equals 17 minus 6x, and that is 11x. Divide both sides by 11, and we get x equals 0. Let's double check that answer. X equals 0, that's correct.